Let the night wrap around you. Million years ago, how did prehistoric humans survive to sustain life and more? Close your eyes and let the present dissolve into stillness. The day slips away like a gentle tide retreating from the shore, leaving only the quiet glow of twilight. Take a slow breath, deep and easy, and feel the air move like water through you. The world in this moment feels softer, wider, timeless. All sound fades into distance until there is only the steady rhythm of your own heartbeat, echoing the ancient pulse of the earth itself. You are safe here. You are home within time. Imagine a world before memory, before stories were written, before names were spoken. The sky stretches in endless layers of silver and blue. Stars hang lower, close enough to feel like they could brush your skin. The mountains breathe, warm from the fires of their birth. Rivers carve new paths through untouched valleys, singing songs that have no words. The wind carries the scent of rain, of moss, of beginnings. Every breath of air feels pure, as though it has just been created. This is the earth long before us, raw, beautiful, and deeply alive. Let yourself drift through it. The air hums with quiet energy, and the light moves slowly, curling around the edges of great stones and ferns. The world does not rush here. There is no hurry, no noise, no demand to be anywhere else. The soil is cool beneath invisible feet. Shadows stretch lazily across the land. Everything moves at the pace of peace. You wander across the vast plain of time, through forests that shimmer with mist, under skies wide enough to hold eternity. The stars above do not blink. They watch, patient and kind. They have seen oceans form, mountains rise, and the first tiny sparks of life appear in dark waters. They have watched this planet dream itself awake again and again. Somewhere in the distance, thunder murmurs softly, not as a warning, but as a heartbeat. The earth breathes beneath layers of cloud and stone. Every pulse of wind, every ripple in water whispers that life is coming. It begins quietly, invisibly, tenderly, and soon it will move. Stay here in this slow rhythm of becoming. Let your thoughts drift like dust in the sun. Let your body rest in the quiet certainty that everything, everywhere, is unfolding as it should. The earth turns, the air hums, the stars keep watch. You are not separate from it. You are part of the same slow song, the same dream, the same light that was here 1,000,000 years ago. Rest within it, the deep, endless calm of a world just beginning to breathe. And now, as the earth dreams, shapes begin to stir within its quiet heart. In the soft cradle of time, the first traces of humanity emerge, faint shadows moving through the tall grass, silhouettes against the fading light. They are not yet the people we know, but they are the first echoes of us, travelers between instinct and thought. The wind touches their skin as it once touched the leaves. The same moon that glows above you now shone upon their faces. They lived without language, without walls, guided only by the rhythm of survival. Each dawn brought a gentle question from the world: live, move, seek, and remember. These early humans carried no burdens of history. They lived in balance, their hearts aligned with the heartbeat of the earth. Every sound, the call of a bird, the rustle of grass, the crackle of fire, was part of the same melody of existence. Tonight we drift with them, through forest and plain, through shadow and starlight, through the endless patience of time. This is not a story of struggle, but of stillness, of how life, simple, enduring, and beautiful, continued to move forward. This is the dream of prehistoric humans living 1,000,000 years ago. Gentle, eternal, like a beautiful sleep. Ancient Earth. Before the world was awake with voices and footsteps, there was only quiet motion. The gentle rhythm of an ancient Earth breathing beneath an endless sky. The land was vast and patient, shaped slowly by wind and water. Mountains rose not in violence but in grace, their peaks softened by mist. Valleys stretched wide, filled with the hush of growing forests. Every corner of the planet moved with a steady calm, a rhythm so slow and even that it felt eternal. The air was thick with moisture and light. Clouds drifted lazily across the horizon, their reflections dancing on still lakes. Rivers wound through stone, smooth and unhurried, tracing paths that would one day cradle the seeds of life. Everything shimmered under a pale, endless sky, a sky that never hurried, a sky that seemed content to simply exist. The sound of this world was unlike any music known today. It was the low murmur of wind through fern leaves, the soft rumble of distant thunder, the sigh of waves against untouched rock. No language yet existed, but the planet spoke fluently through rhythm, through patterns of rain, through the pulse of water meeting earth, through the heartbeat of the sea. In that time, nothing was separate. Air, stone, and water lived in quiet harmony. It was a world without thought, a dream slowly taking shape. When morning arrived, it did so without effort. Light spilled gently across the horizon, brushing the edges of mountains and stirring the surface of ancient seas. There was no dawn chorus, no cry of birds or rustle of leaves, only the subtle shift from cool darkness to a soft, golden glow. The warmth spread carefully, painting the fog in shades of silver and amber. In the stillness, the air glimmered as though dusted with light. The land breathed. Every gust of wind felt like an exhale, carrying with it the scent of minerals and water. The mountains responded in silence, their faces carved by centuries of gentle rain. Streams trickled between stones, creating songs too soft for words, songs that never ended. Time moved differently here, not in seconds or hours, but in ripples, waves, and cycles. Each drop of rain carried the memory of oceans. Each gust of wind remembered the heat of the sun. Far from the coasts, the great forests were forming, wide expanses of green where the air was heavy and still. The trees stood like silent guardians, their branches tangled high above the ground. Light filtered through the canopy in soft ribbons, touching moss, rock, and water. The smell of earth filled the air, rich, clean, endless. In those woods, everything grew slowly, patiently. Every leaf knew the rhythm of the world. Inhale the mist, exhale the light. Across the plains, grasses rolled in gentle waves. They bent and rose with the wind, creating patterns that shimmered like water under the sun. Tiny seeds floated through the air, gliding on invisible currents before settling softly on the soil. Insects buzzed faintly, not in swarms, not in chaos, but as part of the same quiet orchestra. Every movement was soft, every sound belonged, nothing rushed, nothing broke the peace. The sky, wide and forgiving, shifted in slow colors. Blue gave way to white, then gold, then the deep blush of evening. Clouds changed shape like slow-moving dreams, folding into one another, then dissolving. Rain would come and go, gentle, cleansing, never harsh. The earth accepted it all, absorbing each drop like a memory. The cycle never stopped, yet it never felt repetitive. It was simply the way things were. As the sun reached its height, the air shimmered with warmth. The rocks glowed faintly. The water mirrored the light in liquid ripples. Time felt suspended. as though the whole planet were resting in the middle of a long, contented sigh. The silence was not empty, it was full of life not yet born, full of sound too delicate to name. It was the kind of silence that held meaning without needing to speak. When clouds gathered again, they did not threaten. They arrived slowly, soft as breath, shading the land in silver. Thunder rolled in the distance, low and comforting, like the earth stretching in its sleep. Lightning flickered once or twice, not fierce, but graceful, illuminating the shapes of mountains, the outlines of forests, the curve of distant seas. Then the rain returned, slow, rhythmic, familiar. It fell for hours, whispering across everything. It filled streams, refreshed soil, cooled stone. It washed the world clean and new again. Night came quietly, without warning or ceremony. The light faded until it was only a dim shimmer across the sky. The stars appeared one by one, blinking softly, their reflections trembling in lakes and rivers. The moon rose, pale and round, spilling a thin light across the landscape. Every mountain cast a shadow that melted into darkness. The forests glowed faintly with moisture. The plains lay still, breathing under the soft silver air. The planet seemed to sleep, though it never truly did. Its breath continued, slow, deep, and endless. This was a world without people, without stories, without fear or ambition, a world that existed purely for the sake of existing. Each element flowed into the next, air into water, water into earth, earth into air, again. There was no boundary, no separation, no conflict. It was harmony in its most natural form. Simple, effortless, infinite. Sometimes the wind would rise just enough to move the grasses in waves, like a whisper running through the fields. The ocean would answer with a soft rush, as if acknowledging the call. Then all would settle again. The earth did not seek to be noticed. It was content simply to be. Every sound, every motion, every breath belonged to one vast, unbroken peace. As the night deepened, fog gathered low along the valleys. It wrapped around stones and drifted between trees. The moonlight scattered through it, turning the air to silver. The sound of water became a lullaby, steady, gentle, continuous. Somewhere, unseen, the tide turned quietly. The stars shimmered above, watching everything with the patience of eternity. In this quiet balance, the earth dreamed. It dreamed of movement, of growth, of the slow unfolding of life that would one day come. But for now, it rested, content in its stillness. The forests breathed, the mountains watched, the rivers carried time forward, grain by grain. There is no hurry in this place, no need to remember or forget. Only the present exists, wide and soft, stretching endlessly across the horizon. This is the calm before history, the pause between creation and consciousness. The air is cool, the night forgiving. The world sleeps in itself. And as you listen, your mind begins to drift with it, calm, weightless, at ease. The sound of ancient rain falls somewhere in the distance. The pulse of the planet slows to match your own. You are part of this world now, a part of its patience, its silence, its dream. The earth breathes, you breathe. Everything is still, everything is whole. And for this moment, that is all that exists. The first footsteps. The sun rises slowly, spilling light across the horizon in golden waves. Mist curls above the grasslands, soft and weightless, shimmering like quiet breath. The world is calm. Every sound seems distant. the sigh of wind through the tall grass, the whisper of insects hidden beneath leaves, the gentle rhythm of water far away. In this quietness, shapes begin to move. Silhouettes, faint, slow, unhurried, wander through the early light. These are the first footsteps of humankind, gentle marks pressed into the memory of the earth. They move carefully, as if the world itself were fragile. Their feet touch the ground with respect, each step a conversation between body and soil. The air is cool against their skin, and the scent of damp earth clings softly around them. They do not speak, for language does not yet exist. There are no words, only glances, breath, and the pulse of instinct guiding them forward. Each sound in the distance carries meaning. Each shadow tells them something. They listen, and they understand in ways beyond thought. Morning unfolds around them like a long exhale. The grass bends under dew, tiny droplets catching the light and scattering it in quiet joy. Above, the sky opens wide, blue at the edges, pale near the sun. It feels endless, tender, welcoming. The small group moves together without rush, without goal, simply existing in the comfort of motion. Their world is not yet measured by time. The day is only light, and the night is only rest. When they walk, they follow paths made not by decision, but by feeling. The ground beneath them is soft, covered in moss and dry grass. Sometimes they pause, not from fatigue, but from wonder. They tilt their faces toward the breeze, sensing its direction, tasting its message. It carries the scent of fruit, of water, of distance. Their bodies know before their minds can reason. They walk again, quietly, the rhythm of their movement matching the rhythm of the earth's breath. In the forest, light filters through the branches, painting the air with slow, golden dust. The sound of leaves rustling overhead feels like a song, not one that needs remembering, but one that has always been there. Birds move unseen in the distance, their wings breaking the stillness with delicate motion. The people listen, and the sound fills them with calm. Everything feels alive, and everything accepts their presence. There is no fear, no need to conquer or flee. The world and its new travelers share the same pulse. Sometimes they stop near a stream, dipping their hands into cool water. It glides across their skin, smooth and pure. They drink quietly, each sip, slow, deliberate. The water reflects their faces, though they do not yet recognize themselves. They see movement, shape, light, and it is enough. The stream continues on its way, and they follow its curve for a while, guided by the sound of flowing water. The stream knows where life hides, it leads without effort, and they walk in trust. Afternoon comes without rush. The sun hangs high, warm but not harsh. The scent of grass and soil deepens. The air vibrates gently with distant hums, insects, wind, maybe the faint call of some unseen creature. It is all part of the same quiet music. The travelers walk within it as if inside a dream. Their shadows stretch and move with them, sliding across the uneven ground, fading and reappearing. When they rest, they do not speak. They sit close together, feeling the heat of the sun and the slow rhythm of their breathing. Around them, life moves softly. Tiny creatures crawl through the grass. A breeze lifts strands of hair, the leaves above sway and whisper. The moment feels endless, yet it does not cling. Nothing demands attention. Everything simply is. In the evenings, the light begins to change. The golden tone softens into amber, then into deep blue. The first humans rise again and begin to move toward shelter. A grove of trees, a cluster of rocks, perhaps the mouth of a shallow cave. The air cools, the world grows quieter. Shadows lengthen and blend into one another. The sky blushes, then deepens, then turns to velvet. Stars appear, shy at first, then many, bright and still. They rest beneath this wide dome of light. Fires do not yet burn, but warmth still exists. In the nearness of bodies, in the protection of the night air, in the steady familiarity of the earth beneath them. They lie upon the ground, the scent of soil and leaves wrapping around them like a soft blanket. Eyes close. Breathing slows. The body remembers the day, not as memory, but as rhythm. Step, pause, breathe. Step, pause, breathe. In dreams they move again, walking through open plains, hearing the same wind, following the same distant river. The boundaries between waking and sleeping blur. The world hums gently beneath them, and they hum back in silence. Each breath joins the countless breaths of nature, weaving them into the great calm fabric of life. When dawn returns, it is as soft as before. The mist rises again. The dew returns to the grass. The sky stretches pale and forgiving. The travelers open their eyes slowly, greeted not by fear or uncertainty, but by the same quiet beauty that has always been there. They stand, stretch, and begin to walk again. There is no destination, no beginning, no end. Only the ongoing rhythm of life unfolding in peace. They move through landscapes that change gradually, from open fields to shaded woods, from rocky hills to calm lake shores. Every place feels new and yet familiar. The air shifts, the light bends, the colors melt together. The planet welcomes them with patience. They are small, but not insignificant. Each step presses softly into the soil, leaving behind an invisible mark, the memory of motion, the promise of becoming. Clouds drift overhead, mirroring the slow pace of their journey. The earth does not ask them to hurry. The wind brushes their hair. A few birds glide silently above, casting long shadows that ripple across the ground. Time feels generous, forgiving. The day unfolds like an endless sigh, quiet, content, and complete. As night falls once more, the sky fills with stars. The humans watch them, though they do not yet know what they are. They see the light, and it soothes them. They see the darkness, and it comforts them. The night is neither frightening nor lonely. It is home, vast, calm, eternal. They sleep again, wrapped in the same serenity that carried them through the day. This is how it begins, softly, without hurry, without struggle. The first footsteps of humankind fall gently upon the earth, not as a claim, but as a whisper. The world listens, the stars remain steady. The air, the soil, the sky, all breathe in unison. There are no questions here, no weight of thought, only the simple act of being, alive, moving, resting, existing. And as you listen, you move with them, not in body, but in calm. Your breath joins theirs. Your mind grows still, floating through the same quiet rhythm. Every sound, every image, every moment fades into softness. The world, both ancient and eternal, continues to breathe around you. The first footsteps disappear into the mist, and all that remains is peace. Everything is calm. Everything is whole. Everything is enough. Life of prehistoric humans. The sun rises quietly, pouring gold through the leaves. The air feels light and clean, touched by the scent of morning dew. Beneath tall trees, shadows move softly, the slow rhythm of life beginning once again. In this ancient world, people live in perfect balance with everything around them. They do not rush, they do not plan ahead. Each moment comes and goes like breath, gentle, steady, unforced. The forest is their home, the river their song, and the wind their companion. They rest beneath wide branches where the air stays cool and soft. The sunlight drifts through the canopy, painting the ground in gentle patches of gold. Water nearby murmurs in a language older than words. Its sound fills the silence between heartbeats. The people sit together in small circles, their backs against smooth trunks, their feet in the grass. They breathe with the forest, matching its rhythm, moving only when the light invites them to. When they wake, the world is already alive. Birds glide between the trees, insects shimmer like tiny sparks in the sun. The people stretch, slow and calm, feeling the warmth return to their skin. There are no walls, no roofs, no boundaries, only the soft shelter of the natural world. They have learned to trust it completely. The earth provides what they need, and in return they tread lightly upon it, leaving almost no trace. Every day feels both new and familiar. They follow the light, moving toward what nourishes them, fruit hanging low, roots hidden in damp soil, a stream filled with fish moving like silver thoughts. There is no hurry. Each discovery feels enough. When hunger fades, they rest again, laughing softly, though laughter then was only breath, only the quiet joy of being alive. The air is warm in the day, gentle at dusk. Smoke has not yet colored the sky. Fire lives only as sunlight and stars. They find warmth in closeness, in the nearness of others, in the quiet comfort of belonging. Their hearts beat in the same rhythm as the world itself. Slow, deep, and sure. Evenings come tenderly. The sun tilts low, spilling honey-colored light across the leaves. They gather near the water, watching the surface glow. Ripples spread like tiny rings of time. The sound of frogs and crickets rises, forming a soft, endless melody. The people lean into one another, their shadows fading into the darkening forest. Above them, the first stars begin to appear. Silent, constant, kind. They have no need to name the stars. It is enough to feel their light. The night holds no fear, only coolness, only rest. The forest hums gently. The river continues its quiet song. Life folds itself into stillness, preparing for sleep. When rain comes, it comes softly. The drops slide down leaves, pooling in small hollows, tapping a slow, soothing rhythm on the earth. The people move closer together beneath the trees. They do not shiver, they do not hide. The rain feels alive, a gift from the sky, washing away dust, cooling the ground, bringing the scent of new beginnings. Their eyes close. The sound of water becomes a lullaby, steady and timeless. In the soft hours between night and dawn, their dreams blend with the sounds around them. The whisper of wind becomes a story, the flow of the river a song. They do not remember these dreams when they wake, and they do not need to. The dream continues in the way they live. Simple, calm, complete. Morning returns again, smooth as light over water. The forest stretches, shimmering with life. Drops of dew sparkle on every blade of grass. The people rise slowly, refreshed. Their movements are unhurried, their faces serene. They have no clock to answer to, no schedule to follow. Their time belongs to the rhythm of nature, to sunrise and sunset, to hunger and rest, to rain and silence. They move through the day as part of the landscape itself. Each footstep blends with the sound of leaves beneath them. Each breath becomes part of the wind. When they walk along the riverbanks, fish shimmer below the surface. The reflection of the sky dances upon their skin. Sometimes they pause and watch dragonflies hover above the water, wings glittering in the light. They smile without knowing the word for it. It is enough to feel ease, to be present, to exist without the weight of thought. In the open clearings, children play with stones and branches. Their laughter, soft, breathy, and bright, rises into the air like music. The adults watch them gently, knowing safety not as an idea, but as a presence. Every sound in this world belongs. There are no walls, no doors, no boundaries between home and wild. Everything flows together: air, water, life. As the day drifts forward, clouds gather lightly. The shadows cool the ground. The group moves toward a large tree where the trunk is wide enough to embrace them all. They sit again, sharing fruits, chewing roots, sipping from leaf cups filled with water. Their gestures are slow, kind, peaceful. They do not speak in words, yet they communicate through everything else, through eyes, through touch, through shared rhythm. Connection is silent but constant. When night comes again, it feels like a soft exhale. The forest quiets and the river slows. The people settle near the base of trees, bodies curled together in comfort. Above them, the stars spill across the sky, glimmering like scattered fireflies. The moon appears, full and gentle, laying silver across their skin. No one counts the hours. Time drifts without edges. Somewhere, an animal calls. The sound echoes once, then fades. The air remains still. The world seems vast but not lonely. Every sound folds into the next. Every breath merges with the rhythm of the earth. The people sleep deeply, wrapped in the scent of leaves and soil. In dreams they wander through the same forest, their steps quiet and light. The world around them glows softly, endless and kind. The river flows beside them, stars shimmer above, and the wind hums a low, endless melody. It is all one song, the song of peace, of being, of belonging. When they wake once more, the light has changed again. The first rays of dawn brush across their faces, and the air smells new. They rise without effort, stretching, smiling faintly. The forest greets them with warmth, as if nothing has changed or did, because nothing has to. Life continues as it always has, simple, graceful, and whole. They begin their quiet journey once more, walking along familiar paths, collecting fruits, following the river. The sky above opens wide and blue. A soft breeze follows them, carrying the scent of flowers and water. Every step feels weightless, every breath easy. Their hearts are calm, their minds are clear. They do not worry about what comes next because every moment already feels complete. This is how life flows, not forward, not backward, but in perfect circles of peace. There is no struggle, no rush to arrive. The prehistoric humans live as part of the Earth's breath, moving with it, resting with it. Their lives are quiet but full. Their world is vast but gentle. Every sunrise is enough. Every sunset feels like home. And as you listen, the calm of their world begins to settle inside you. Your thoughts slow, your breath deepens. The sound of distant water fills the quiet between your heartbeats. You are safe here, resting in the same peace that cradled the first humans. The air around you feels softer now. The ground beneath you feels steady. The world hums its quiet song, inviting you to rest. Breathe in. Breathe out. Let everything fade into stillness. The story continues, but for now, you may simply drift. A day of survival. Morning begins with a gentle glow, as if the sky itself was stretching after a long night's rest. A soft golden light spills through the trees, washing over the sleeping figures of early humans. The forest hums faintly, alive but unhurried. Dew glistens on leaves and the sound of water trickling nearby welcomes the new day. Everything moves slowly, naturally, as if the entire world is waking up together. The first humans stir quietly. They rise from their resting places beneath wide branches, brushing away bits of moss and grass. There are no sudden movements, no alarms, no need for haste. The morning air feels cool on their skin, light as breath. It smells of wet earth and distant fruit. Somewhere in the canopy, a bird sings, not as a signal, but as part of the same easy rhythm that carries through the forest. They stretch, feeling the muscles of survival that have always belonged to them. Their day begins not with plans, but with instinct. The light guides them, and their senses lead the way. The world provides direction. The earth itself seems to whisper, "Walk this way, drink here, rest there." They move toward the river, stepping softly through the undergrowth. The ground is cool beneath bare feet, sprinkled with fallen leaves and patches of sunlight. Every step produces a small sound, a rustle, a crunch, a whisper. Together these sounds form a kind of music, gentle and grounding. They walk in silence, not because they must, but because the silence feels right. Words have not yet been invented, but understanding flows easily between them. A glance, a gesture, a tilt of the head, all communicate what is needed. When they reach the river, it glitters in the morning light, wide and calm. The surface ripples as small fish dart beneath. The people kneel, cupping water in their hands, letting it flow across their skin. The first sip feels alive, cool and clear. They drink until their thirst fades, then wash their faces and arms. Droplets catch the light and fall back into the current. Everything is connected. The body, the water, the earth. Breakfast comes without effort. Some find fruit among the trees, bright berries and soft roots that grow easily in the moist soil. Others turn stones to find insects beneath, small but nourishing. The meal is quiet and simple, but it carries contentment. Hunger fades, energy returns, and the day unfolds with ease. As the sun climbs higher, the air warms and the forest brightens. The people wander slowly, searching for what the day might offer. Perhaps new food, perhaps a new place to rest. They move together in small groups, their rhythm unbroken. The sound of their steps blends with the songs of the forest. No one leads, no one follows. There is only the gentle movement of life continuing as it always has. By midday, the sun glows strong and bright. Its warmth spreads through the air like a slow wave, touching everything with gold. Shadows shrink and fade. The people find open spaces near the water where they sit and rest. Some lie back against smooth stones, eyes closed, listening to the hum of insects and the distant call of animals. Others run their fingers through the sand or the grass, feeling the texture of the world. Every sensation is simple and pure. There is no hurry, no goal to chase. Life is only this: the feel of the ground, the sound of the air, the comfort of being. The heart beats softly, steady and strong. The lungs fill, release, fill again. Each breath seems to match the slow pulse of the planet itself. When the heat of the afternoon settles in, they move toward the shade. Beneath a cluster of tall trees, the air cools again. Leaves flutter above, casting soft patterns of light. The people rest here for a while, sharing what they've gathered. A few fruits, some roots, a handful of berries. There is quiet satisfaction in this small abundance. They eat slowly, savoring the sweetness, the crunch, the freshness. A few of them explore the edges of the forest, following animal tracks or the sound of rustling grass. They find nothing urgent, only signs of life. Feathers caught on branches, paw prints in the mud, the faint scent of distant creatures. These traces tell them that they are not alone, yet they feel no fear. The world is vast, but it holds them gently. As afternoon stretches on, the sun begins to lean toward the horizon. The light changes, softer now, warmer, a deep amber that paints everything in peace. The people start to make their way back toward familiar shelter, following paths that wind through tall grass and over small streams. Their bodies move with quiet strength. Each step leaves only a whisper in the soil. When they arrive, the place feels welcoming. A grove of trees near the river, a natural circle of safety. The air smells faintly of fruit and earth. Here they settle again, easing into the calm of evening. Some sit near the water, letting their fingers trail in the current. Others gather branches and dry leaves, stacking them for warmth. They do not yet know the fire's flame, but they understand warmth in other ways. Through closeness, through breath, through the living heat of their own bodies. As the sun disappears behind the trees, the sky becomes a slow swirl of color. Orange melting into pink, pink fading into blue, blue dissolving into deep, quiet gray. The first stars appear, soft and distant. Night does not fall. It drifts in gently like a blanket of cool air settling across the land. The people move closer together. Their evening meal is small but shared. Each piece of food is passed by hand, each gesture calm and kind. They eat slowly, the rhythm of chewing and breathing blending with the sounds of the night. Frogs calling, insects buzzing, water flowing steadily. The forest is alive but peaceful. Every sound feels like part of the same endless lullaby. When the meal is done, they sit quietly, gazing into the distance. They do not speak, but the silence between them feels full of connection, of belonging, of simple peace. Above, the stars shimmer brighter, their reflections dancing on the river's surface. Eventually they lie down to rest. The ground is soft with grass and leaves, warm where the day's sun has lingered. They sleep close, their bodies forming a quiet circle. The warmth shared between them is gentle and steady. The air cools, brushing lightly across their skin. In the distance, an animal calls once, low, echoing, harmless. The people hear it and feel safe. Dreams come easily here. The sound of wind in the trees becomes a cradle. The rhythm of water becomes a song. Their breathing slows, sinking again with the pulse of the earth. The night deepens but never grows heavy. It is light, soft, forgiving. Far above, the stars shift across the sky, marking time without urgency. The moon rises, spreading a pale silver light across the forest. Shadows stretch and blur. Everything glows faintly. The sleeping people lie still, peaceful, part of the landscape itself. The earth continues to move, slow and eternal. The river flows, the wind drifts, the forest breathes. It has always been this way. Life continues. Quiet, constant, endless. As you listen, the calm of their world begins to reach you. The steady rhythm of their breath becomes yours. The warmth of their fireless camp seems to glow inside you. Every image, the river, the stars, the forest, softens your thoughts, smooths your heartbeat, and carries you deeper into stillness. There is nothing to think about, nothing to remember, only this moment, only this peace. The prehistoric day fades gently into prehistoric night, and the story continues without edges, without weight. You are safe, and the world is calm. The air around you hums softly, wrapping you in the same peace that once cradled the first humans. The night whispers its endless song, inviting you to rest, to drift, to dream. The forests and the plains. The horizon stretches wide beneath a soft morning sky. The world opens in silence, vast plains rolling endlessly into the distance, and beyond them, forests breathing under a calm wind. The earth feels alive yet quiet, awake yet still dreaming. Every color is gentle here, the green of leaves, the gold of grass, the gray of stones warmed by light. The air itself seems to shimmer, carrying the scent of soil, of water, of life. Across the plains, the first humans walk slowly. Their figures move like shadows beneath the sun, small against the open world. Around them, herds of animals drift lazily. Large shapes grazing in the tall grass, their movements unhurried, peaceful. There is no fear, no noise, only the soft rhythm of breathing and footsteps. The air hums faintly, alive with quiet motion. They stop often, not because they must, but because the world invites them to. The grass ripples with each breeze, bending and rising again. Insects shimmer through the air, wings catching the light like bits of dust and gold. Somewhere far away, the faint sound of running water echoes, a stream hidden between stones. The sound is calm, constant, familiar. The humans listen and they understand. This is a good place. They rest beneath a sky that never ends. Clouds drift like slow ships, casting soft shadows across the land. Each shadow moves gently over them, cool and light. The warmth of the sun returns as soon as it passes. It is a perfect balance. Warmth and coolness, light and shade, sound and stillness. Every breath they take feels easy, as if the air was made just for comfort. As the day grows brighter, the humans move toward the forest at the edge of the plain. The trees stand tall and still, their branches reaching high like calm waves frozen in motion. The air changes here. Cooler, denser, carrying the deep, rich scent of leaves and soil. Light filters through the canopy in thin ribbons, flickering across moss and stone. The forest feels endless but not heavy. It breathes slowly, like something alive and kind. Inside, everything moves with quiet rhythm. The wind slides through leaves, making them whisper softly. Birds glide between branches, their wings creating small, graceful ripples in the stillness. The people walk gently, careful not to disturb the balance. Their footsteps fall on soft ground, covered in layers of leaves that have rested there for generations. The air feels full but peaceful, like a song that plays beneath the surface of thought. Sometimes they stop and listen. The forest speaks in many voices, the creak of wood, the hum of insects, the rustle of small creatures moving unseen. Every sound carries harmony, blending perfectly with the next. There are no sudden movements, no disruptions. Even silence here feels alive, pulsing softly through the air. The group finds a clearing where sunlight falls in wide, golden patches. They sit together in the light, letting its warmth soak into their skin. The ground is soft, covered in moss and grass. The scent of the forest wraps around them like comfort. Time drifts, unmeasured. Nothing needs to happen. The world simply continues. When the breeze moves again, it carries the smell of distant rain, fresh, faint, promising. The humans tilt their faces upward, eyes half closed, breathing in the change. The sky above shifts slowly, pale blue melting into white. The wind plays gently with their hair, moves through the leaves, stirs the long grass of the plains beyond. Everything connects. As they walk back toward the open fields, the light glows softer, golden and deep. The plains shimmer with movement, herds grazing, birds gliding low, insects dancing in invisible spirals. The people move among them, part of the same calm rhythm. There is no tension, no need to rush. Each step matches the slow heartbeat of the earth. The grasslands stretch far and smooth, rising and falling like the ocean. Every gust of wind sets them swaying in waves, silver and green. The sound they make is soft, a long whisper, endless and kind. The humans pause to watch, to feel the motion of the world passing gently through them. It feels as though the earth itself is breathing, slow and steady, patient and whole. When they find a stream, they stop to rest again. The water glides quietly over stones, creating ripples that shimmer in the fading sun. They drink from their hands, cool and refreshed. The sound of water blends with the rustle of grass and the sigh of wind. Together, it forms a rhythm, steady, grounding, familiar. Evening begins to settle, almost without notice. The light fades from gold to amber, from amber to soft blue. The plains darken first, shadows stretching long and smooth. The forest follows, its canopy glowing faintly as the last rays of sunlight slip through. The air cools, carrying the scent of rain and the faint sweetness of distant flowers. Everything slows again, as if the planet itself is preparing to rest. The humans find a place near the border of trees and grass. It is quiet here, open but protected. They sit together, watching the horizon melt into soft color. The animals in the distance move in calm lines toward the water. Birds drift overhead, wings gliding effortlessly through fading light. The sound of the wind softens until it becomes part of the silence. They share what little food they have gathered, fruit, roots, perhaps a few nuts, found beneath the trees. The act of sharing feels sacred, though they do not know the word. It is a language older than speech, one of kindness, of connection. Each bite is slow and satisfying. Hunger fades easily in a world that gives enough. As darkness deepens, the stars appear. One, then many. The sky becomes a mirror of the land below, endless, calm, full of quiet motion. The people lie back, watching. The stars seem close, their light soft and steady. The air cools around them, wrapping everything in peace. In the distance, the forest murmurs with the low sounds of night, the rustle of leaves, the sigh of small animals finding rest. The plains answer with the faint hum of wind moving through grass. Together, these sounds create a lullaby that drifts across the land. The people close their eyes, not out of weariness, but from the gentle pleasure of stillness. The ground beneath them is warm where the day's sun remains. The earth feels alive under their skin, solid, patient, kind. They breathe deeply, their chests rising and falling in time with the world. There is nothing to want, nothing to fear. Only the comfort of existence, simple and whole. The moon rises above the plains, its light silvery and smooth. It touches the tips of grass, the tops of trees, the faces of those who rest. Every shadow softens, every edge blurs. The world becomes a dream, not an illusion, but a deeper kind of reality, where thought fades and peace remains. Through the long night, the plains and forests breathe together. Mist gathers in the low places, spreading like a calm tide. The air grows cool, carrying the scent of distant rain. Every sound slows, every movement becomes small and tender. The people sleep in this stillness, surrounded by the hum of life that never ends. And when dawn comes again, it returns gently. Light seeps through the mist, soft and pale. The first sounds of the morning rise. Water moving, wind shifting, birds stirring in the trees. The world renews itself without effort. The plains stretch once more, golden under the sun. The forest awakens in quiet harmony. The humans rise too, slow and content. their eyes open to the same beauty as the day before, yet it feels new. They move easily, unhurried, warmed by light and calm. Around them, everything lives, everything breathes. There is no difference between waking and dreaming. It is all the same endless peace. The forests and the plains remain as they have always been, vast, patient, alive. The earth continues its slow, even breath. The wind drifts, the water flows. And somewhere in that balance, humankind begins another gentle day. Hunting and gathering. The sun rises quietly over the wide horizon, spreading pale gold across the forest and the plains. The air feels soft and cool, carrying the scent of dew and leaves. Light filters through the branches, breaking into pieces that dance across the ground. The earth hums with quiet life, not loud, not rushed, just the steady rhythm of morning returning once again. Small groups of early humans begin to move through the landscape. They travel together, walking slowly through tall grass and along narrow trails shaped by the steps of animals. The forest around them feels alive and kind. Every sound, a rustle of leaves, a distant bird call, a sigh of wind, belongs perfectly. The people do not hurry. Their movements are calm, balanced, deliberate. They are hunters and gatherers living in harmony with what the land gives. Their eyes are patient, their hands are steady. They listen deeply, not only to the forest, but to the quiet inside themselves. The world speaks through signs, a bent blade of grass, a broken twig, a soft sound in the distance. Each clue tells a story. Each breath brings understanding. Some of them move toward the trees where fruit glows among the leaves. The colors are gentle, shades of green, yellow, and red glistening in the light. They reach carefully, picking what is ripe, leaving what will grow again. Their fingers brush the rough bark, the smooth skin of fruit, the cool dampness of the air. Everything feels simple, clean, peaceful. The act of gathering becomes its own kind of meditation, slow, quiet, full of gratitude. Others walk toward the open plains. They follow the faint trails of animals, reading the patterns left in the soil. Every mark tells them where life has passed, a print in the mud, a tuft of fur caught in a thorn, the scent of movement carried by the breeze. They do not chase, they wait. The patience of the hunter is gentle, never desperate. The land provides when the time is right. The wind moves softly across the grasslands. Long blades of grass bend and sway, creating waves of green and gold. The hunters crouch low, watching, breathing with the earth. In the distance, a small herd moves slowly, creatures grazing, unaware of being observed. The humans watch them not with hunger, but with respect. This is a shared rhythm, a dance between giver and receiver. There is no cruelty here, only balance. Meanwhile, the gatherers hum softly as they work. They dig roots from soft soil, their hands covered in earth that smells rich and alive. They find eggs hidden beneath bushes, smooth and fragile, resting in nests made of straw. Each discovery feels like a small gift. There is no greed, no taking more than needed. Every movement follows the quiet law of nature. Take gently, leave enough for tomorrow. The day unfolds in light. The sun climbs higher, filling the forest with warmth. Birds drift through the air, their wings flashing silver. The people move in and out of shadow, guided by instinct and by the land itself. The sound of their footsteps blends with the songs of the wild. Water flowing, insects humming, leaves whispering. At times they stop to rest beneath a tree. They sit together, eating what they have gathered. Berries that burst with sweetness, roots that taste of earth and rain. The meal is quiet, shared without words. Each person takes only a little, and in return the body feels full, calm, content. The forest gives, and the forest is thanked, not in language, but in silence. Farther away, the hunters wait for movement. Their bodies are still, their breathing slow. A shadow shifts between the trees, and they notice. They move closer, soft as mist. Their steps make no sound. The animals graze peacefully, unaware of the quiet observation. The humans do not rush. They understand the rhythm of life, and they move within it, not against it. When the moment comes, it happens with grace. Swift, silent, respectful. The hunt ends as quickly as it begins. There is no shouting, no triumph, only stillness. The people gather around, acknowledging the life that has passed. They use everything: meat, skin, bone, sinew. Nothing is wasted. The balance remains. By afternoon, the air has grown warm and fragrant. The forest shimmers with golden light. The groups begin to move back toward the water, their baskets and hands filled with food. The path home feels familiar, safe. They talk without words, gestures, glances, quiet smiles. There is no rush, only the gentle satisfaction of completion. At the river, they wash their hands and faces, letting the cool water run over them. The scent of the day, soil, fruit, leaves, drifts away. Laughter, soft and breathy, rises between them like wind through reeds. It is not loud, but it is joy, pure and simple. The sound joins the rhythm of the river, the heartbeat of the earth. They rest in the shade, lying back against smooth stones and watching the clouds drift across the sky. The clouds move slowly, forming shapes that disappear as easily as they came. The air is warm, the breeze playful. The people feel light, free, unburdened. Their bodies relax, their minds quiet. Every worry dissolves into sunlight and wind. As the day leans toward evening, the light changes again. Shadows stretch long across the plains, and the forest glows with the soft fire of sunset. The people gather once more, bringing everything they have found. They sit in a circle, sharing what they have: the fruit, the roots, the meat. The act of sharing is wordless but full of meaning. It is unity, peace, gratitude. The sky darkens into shades of blue and violet. Stars begin to appear, faint at first, then bright. The river glows under the light of the moon. The people finish their meal, their movements slow and calm. They feel full, not just from food, but from the simple wholeness of the day. The earth has given and they have taken gently. Everything feels balanced. When night settles fully, the air cools. The sounds of the forest change. Birds grow quiet, while crickets begin their steady song. The people lie close to one another, bodies warm under the open sky. The stars above shimmer softly, reflections of the small fires burning in their hearts. They fall asleep easily. The rhythm of the day lingers in their breathing, the steady pace of walking, the soft sound of water, the whisper of wind through the grass. Their dreams are peaceful, filled with images of light and movement, the shimmer of fruit, the curve of a river, the endless horizon of the plains. The world watches over them, the forest sighs, the plains stretch, the night flows onward. Everything is calm, complete. There is no end, only continuation, life feeding life, day becoming night, breath turning into breath. And as you listen, the calm of their world begins to reach you. The rhythm of their day becomes the rhythm of your breath. The peace of their night settles softly in your chest. Every sound around you, the faint hum of air, the pulse of silence, begins to blend into one gentle harmony. There is nothing more to do. nothing to change. You are safe here, as they were, surrounded by balance, by calm, by life that moves and rests in perfect peace. The earth continues to breathe beneath you. The stars remain steady above you. The river of time flows quietly, carrying everything forward in soft, endless rhythm. Breathe in. Breathe out. Let the calm stay. Let the world hold you as it once held them. Gentle, peaceful, eternal. Shelter and fire. Rain drifts in from the horizon, soft and patient. At first it falls as a whisper, thin drops gliding through the air, brushing the tops of leaves, tapping the skin of the earth. The wind changes direction, curling low through the forest, carrying the scent of water and stone. The air cools. The light fades into silver. Everything slows. Everything breathes. The people look toward the sky and feel the shift. They know this rhythm. Rain has no malice here. It is simply another voice of the world. They move quietly, walking through tall grass that bends under the weight of water. Their footprints vanish as soon as they appear. Each step is soft, steady, certain. Ahead, the land rises into stone. The mountains hold openings carved by time, dark mouths that breathe dry air. The group approaches, calm and silent. The rain grows heavier behind them, drumming gently on the ground. When they reach the caves, the air inside feels cool but safe, smelling of dust and old earth. The sound of rain becomes distant, softened by the stone. They settle there, surrounded by the hush of shelter. Drops continue to fall outside, threading together into a steady rhythm. Inside, the air is still. They gather leaves, dry grass, and fallen branches. Their hands move slowly, carefully, guided by instinct and patience. The cave begins to change. It feels warmer, alive with the quiet energy of human presence. One of them strikes stone against stone, sparks flicker and vanish, again and again. Each sound, a click, a breath, echoes faintly through the cavern. Then at last, a small flame appears. It trembles like a newborn heartbeat, fragile but bright. They lean close, protecting it from the wind. The light grows, spreading across their hands, their faces, their eyes. For the first time, night shines from within. The fire hums softly, crackling like the whisper of dry leaves. Shadows dance along the walls, stretching and folding with the flicker of flame. The warmth reaches outward, brushing against the cool stone. The air smells of smoke and earth. Simple, perfect. The people watch, silent and still. Their faces glow gold in the light, eyes reflecting tiny suns. The rain outside continues to fall, but its song has changed. It no longer sounds lonely. It harmonizes with the crackle of the fire, blending into one calm, endless rhythm. They place branches carefully, feeding the flame without hurry. Each spark rises, spins, and disappears into the dark. The cave feels like a heartbeat, warm in the center, cool at the edges. Time dissolves into the sound of fire and rain. There is no past, no future, only this moment of gentle safety. The light reveals everything softly. Stone walls glisten where moisture lingers. The ground gleams where puddles gather. In the glow, shapes appear. Hands, faces, tools of stone resting nearby. Shadows ripple, merging one into another until the entire cave seems alive, breathing in rhythm with the flame. Some lean back against the rock, closing their eyes. The warmth seeps through skin and bone, spreading ease through every muscle. Others sit closer, watching the embers shift from orange to red to silver. The light touches them all equally, wrapping them in the same calm. Outside, the world rests under rain. Trees bend slightly with the wind. Streams overflow gently, finding new paths through the soil. The land drinks deeply, and life continues in its quiet cycle. Inside, humanity's first fire burns steady, small but eternal in meaning. It is heat, it is light, it is belonging. They share food gathered earlier, fruit, roots, small pieces of meat warmed near the flame. The smell drifts through the air, mixing with smoke. They eat slowly, contentedly. Every bite feels alive with warmth. Their faces soften, their breathing slows. Around them, the cave glows like a cradle. When the meal ends, they sit quietly again, watching the coals pulse with color. No one speaks, yet everything feels said. The fire speaks for them. Each crack, each sigh, a gentle promise that they are not alone. The sound of rain outside begins to fade, replaced by the hush that follows storms. Steam rises from the forest, mist curls around the trees, the air smells new, clean, renewed. From the mouth of the cave, faint moonlight joins the firelight, blending silver and gold into a peaceful glow. The world feels wide and kind. The people lie down near the warmth. Some stretch out on dry leaves, others curl close to the fire's edge. The ground is soft beneath them, the air full of quiet sound. The slow crackle of wood, the faint drip of rain beyond the entrance. Sleep comes easily. The fire watches over them, steady and sure. Outside, stars reappear between clouds. They shine faintly through the mist, reflected in puddles and streams. The night feels infinite but gentle, a great calm presence surrounding all life. Inside the cave, the small flame continues its dance, rising and falling in slow rhythm with each breath. Hours pass unnoticed. The fire burns low, glowing softly, like the heart of the earth itself. The people shift in their sleep, faces calm, bodies at rest. For the first time in countless ages, warmth belongs to them, a warmth they have created. It is not borrowed from the sun or the wind, it is theirs. The sense of safety it brings runs deep, quiet, and true. Dawn arrives softly. The rain has stopped. The air outside glows pale, washed clean by the night. A thin mist lingers above the ground, catching the first light of morning. The forest beyond the cave gleams with drops of silver. Birds begin to stir, their songs slow and sweet. Inside, the last embers still glow. A few faint sparks blink like sleepy eyes. The people wake gradually, stretching into the light. Their faces are peaceful, their eyes soft. They stir the ashes, feeding a few dry twigs to the faint red core. The fire brightens again, small but alive. They sit close for a while, letting the warmth touch their hands. The cave feels different now, not just a shelter, but a home. The scent of smoke lingers on their skin, a gentle reminder of safety. Outside, the wind shifts once more, brushing against the entrance like a friendly hand. Soon, they step back into the world. The forest welcomes them with open air and birdsong. The sky stretches blue and wide above. Behind them, a thin line of smoke drifts from the cave, rising gently toward the sky. It leaves no mark, no scar, only the memory of light, of warmth, of quiet discovery. As they walk, the sun grows stronger, shining through branches still wet from the rain. The ground glitters, their footsteps make soft sounds in the damp soil. Every breath feels new, every movement easy. The world has changed, but gently. Fire has joined it now, not as a threat, but as a friend. In the distance, the plains shimmer, and the sound of life begins again, animals moving, rivers flowing, wind singing through grass. Everything continues as it always has, but with one new rhythm, the rhythm of warmth carried within human hearts. That night, when the darkness returns, they will remember the flame. They will gather again beneath stone or sky, and once more they will bring light to the shadows. The fire will flicker and breathe, and with it, so will they. And as you listen, you can feel that same warmth. The sound of rain fades, the glow of the fire softens your thoughts. The world around you grows quiet, balanced, complete. The earth hums its low song, and your breath joins it, calm and steady. Breathe in, breathe out. Let the warmth stay. The world is safe, the night is kind, and somewhere, deep in time, the first fire still burns. Soft, eternal, and full of peace. The small community. The sun rises once more, spilling soft gold across the land. The air is still cool, holding the scent of damp grass and earth. A thin mist drifts through the trees, curling around branches and fading into light. It is a quiet morning, calm and full. Somewhere in the distance, water flows. Birds call softly, greeting another gentle day. The world feels whole. From within the shelter of stone and leaves, small figures begin to stir. The people rise slowly, stretching their arms toward the warmth of the light. They blink, smile faintly, and breathe in the calm of morning. Around them, life awakens. The soft rustle of grass, the hum of insects, the faint rhythm of footsteps in soil. What were once scattered travelers have become something more. They are a small community now, woven together not by words, but by living side by side. Their days are simple, their hearts unburdened. The forest, the plains, and the rivers all hold space for them. There is no rush, no need to be more than what they are, a quiet circle of life, bound by kindness and care. Children play near the grown ones, their laughter light as wind through leaves. They run barefoot over the grass, tracing invisible paths between trees. Their joy carries through the air, soft and bright, mingling with birdsong. They do not know fear, the world still feels new and gentle. The elders watch with calm smiles, their faces marked by sun and time. Their eyes glow with quiet wisdom. Not heavy, not proud, simply knowing. The older ones speak in gestures, in the slow movement of hands, in the rhythm of their gaze. They do not use words, yet their stories live in every motion. Stories of rain, of animals, of the changing sky. The young ones listen without realizing they are listening, absorbing the lessons carried in silence. The world teaches them how to see, how to feel, how to belong. Morning moves softly into midday. The people gather in small groups beneath trees or by the water's edge. They share food, fruit, roots, pieces of meat warmed near the fire. Their gestures are gentle, their eyes kind. Each act of sharing feels natural, effortless, as if the earth itself were guiding their hands. There is no ownership, no greed, only the simple flow of giving and receiving. The rhythm of their days follows the rhythm of nature. When the sun climbs high, they rest in the shade. When it lowers, they return to their shelters. Every motion feels like part of a larger breath. Inhale, exhale, rise, fall. The earth breathes and they breathe with it. Children nap near their parents, curled in the soft light that filters through the leaves. The elders hum softly, sounds without meaning, yet filled with calm. Their tones blend with the wind, the rustle of branches, the distant splash of water. The air becomes a gentle song, made not by intention, but by existence. Afternoons bring warmth and soft color. The people move slowly, tending to small tasks, weaving branches into walls, shaping stones, gathering herbs. Every movement has purpose but no pressure. There is peace in repetition, in the steady motion of living. The small community thrives not through strength, but through connection. Each person is a thread in a pattern too natural to notice. As the day stretches on, light filters through the canopy, scattering into bright, dappled shapes across the ground. The forest glows with quiet energy. The people move through it like part of the same rhythm. A mother carries fruit in her hands, a child runs behind her, an elder sits by a rock, tracing shapes in the dirt. Each act simple, yet full of meaning. When the air begins to cool, the group gathers near the fire once again. The flame flickers gently, painting their faces in amber light. Smoke rises in slow curls, carrying the smell of wood and warmth. They sit together, close but silent, watching the light move. Around them, night gathers softly, layer by layer, wrapping the world in calm. Children lean against their parents, eyes heavy with sleep. The elders smile faintly, remembering nights before, when the fire was new and strange. Now it feels like part of them, a quiet heart that beats with the rhythm of the earth. The glow reaches into every shadow, chasing away the chill. One of the elders lifts a hand and gestures toward the sky. Stars are appearing now, scattered across the darkness. The people look up together. Their faces reflect the starlight, their expressions still and peaceful. No one speaks, yet they all feel the same wonder. Not a question, not a mystery, but a quiet recognition. The universe above and the fire below feel the same. Vast, alive, endlessly gentle. The air hums with stillness. The fire crackles softly, and somewhere beyond, an animal calls, distant and low. The sound carries through the forest and fades. The people stay where they are, content, breathing in rhythm with the night. Later, when the stars have grown bright, the group drifts towards sleep. Some rest close to the fire, some within the shelter of stone. The children dream easily, their small hands curled near their faces. The adults breathe deeply, their hearts calm. The elders remain awake a little longer, their eyes reflecting the glow of flame and sky. They watch both worlds, the one of earth and the one of stars, and they smile because they feel no difference between them. The night deepens, quiet and endless. The forest whispers, the plains breathe, and the fire continues its gentle song. The warmth spreads outward, touching stone, leaf, skin. The air cools, soft and fragrant. It smells of smoke, rain, and something deeper, something that feels like peace. Hours pass unnoticed. The fire lowers, turning to embers, glowing softly like tiny hearts beating in the dark. The sound of sleep fills the space, slow, rhythmic, natural. The world outside hums in harmony, water moving, wind sighing, stars drifting overhead. When dawn arrives, it does so without sound. Light returns in silence, spreading through the trees, touching each face with warmth. One by one they wake. The children open their eyes first, smiling as if the day itself had greeted them. The adults follow, stretching, breathing in the freshness of the air. The elders rise last, calm and unhurried. The fire, now ash and smoke, waits quietly. One of them adds dry leaves and blows gently. The flame returns, small and bright, as if it had only been sleeping. They gather around once more, not out of need, but because it feels right. The warmth connects them. The morning feels complete. Another day begins, and life moves forward in the same graceful rhythm. They will eat, They will walk, they will share, and they will rest again. Each day repeats not as a cycle of duty, but as a song, one verse, flowing into the next, endless and beautiful. The small community lives simply, but fully. Every sunrise is a beginning, every sunset a gentle closing of the eyes. There is no loneliness here, no fear, no longing. Only connection, to one another, to the earth, to the quiet pulse of existence itself. And as you listen, the peace of their world drifts into yours. Your breathing slows, your thoughts soften. The rhythm of the story becomes the rhythm of your heartbeat. The fire glows faintly behind your eyes. The night feels calm and kind. Breathe in, breathe out. You are part of the same story now. A quiet heartbeat in the long song of time. Rest here, be still. The world is gentle, and you are home. Movement and change. The air begins to shift. It happens slowly, quietly, like a long breath being drawn by the earth itself. The winds change their song, the rain falls less often, rivers grow thin, their silver threads curling through cracked soil. The sky, once filled with clouds, now opens wide and pale. The air carries a different scent, dry, distant, new. The people feel the change before they understand it. They wake one morning and notice the silence where water once sang. The trees whisper differently. The ground beneath their feet feels warmer. The animals they once watched from afar have moved on, their shapes fading into the horizon. The balance of life tilts gently but clearly, inviting movement. There is no fear, only understanding. Change has always been part of the rhythm. The earth moves and they move with it. They gather what remains, food, tools, memories, and prepare to walk. The fire they built flickers one last time behind them, glowing softly as if in farewell. Then they turn toward the open land and begin again. The first steps are quiet. The ground is soft beneath bare feet, still damp from nights of dew. The horizon stretches endlessly ahead, a ribbon of light and distance. The sun rises behind them, warming their backs, guiding them forward. Each step feels patient, certain, as if the land itself were showing them the way. They move in small groups, just as they always have. The elders walk slowly, steady as stone. The children follow, laughing sometimes, their voices carried by the wind. The adults walk in between, their eyes scanning the world with calm focus. There is no rush. Each moment is its own journey. Each breath feels earned and easy. As they travel, the landscape unfolds around them, rolling plains that shimmer with dry grass, forests thinning into open space, hills that rise and fall like waves frozen in time. The color of the world changes with every mile, gold, gray, green, brown. The air feels wider here, the sky deeper. At midday, they rest beneath a few scattered trees. The shade feels cool against their skin. The wind plays gently with their hair. They drink from small gourds, sharing each drop with care. The water tastes of distance, faintly metallic, touched by stone and sun. Every sip feels sacred. Their eyes follow the horizon where animals once passed, herds that moved as one, guided by instinct toward new grass and flowing streams. The humans understand this quiet migration. It mirrors their own. They too are part of the same ancient rhythm, carried forward by the unseen pulse of the planet. When they walk again, the sun has begun to drift lower. The shadows grow long and blue. The land hums softly with evening air. A sense of peace follows them. Not comfort, exactly, but acceptance. They have left behind what was and stepped gently into what will be. Sometimes they speak, but their words are few. More often, they listen. The world has much to say in silence, the whisper of wind across stone, the hum of insects, the soft creak of dry grass beneath their feet. Each sound feels like part of a story too vast to tell. They carry memories with them, the scent of rain, the glow of firelight on stone, the laughter of children beneath the trees. These memories are light, not heavy. They travel easily, woven into their breath, their footsteps, their heartbeat. Nothing is lost. Everything changes form. As night approaches, they find a place to rest. A hollow between two hills, soft with moss and scattered leaves. The stars rise one by one, glittering in the vast blue-black sky. The people gather close, wrapping themselves in silence. The air cools, the earth exhales. Someone builds a small fire, just enough for warmth, just enough for light. Its glow flickers across their faces, touches their eyes with calm reflection. Around them, the world lies open, endless and still. The night hums with quiet life. Small creatures moving unseen, the faint sigh of wind along the ground. They sleep in that open space, the stars keeping watch. Dreams come gently, shaped by memory and sound, the rustle of grass, the warmth of sun, the whisper of running water that once was. They dream not of fear, but of belonging. Even as the land changes, they remain part of it, bound to its endless rhythm. When morning returns, it comes like a soft touch, light, spreading slowly across the plains, painting everything in gold. The people rise with ease, stretching their limbs, smiling faintly. The world looks new again, the same sun, a different sky. They continue walking. The ground beneath them feels drier now, dust rising softly with each step. The wind carries the scent of distance, faint salt, faint stone, the promise of water far ahead. They follow it. The horizon pulls them gently forward. Children walk beside their parents, holding hands, pointing toward birds that circle high above. The elders hum softly, a tune without words, shaped by the rhythm of their steps. It blends with the sound of the breeze, forming a melody that belongs to no one and everyone at once. The path is long but kind. They travel through wide valleys where the grass sways like waves, through patches of woodland where sunlight filters in golden sheets. Every moment feels balanced, a blend of movement and rest, silence and sound. The world shifts constantly, yet always feels familiar. At midday, clouds gather, a faint wind stirs the air, cooler now. The scent of moisture returns, distant but real. The people pause, eyes lifted to the horizon. There, far away, they see the faint shimmer of light reflecting on water. A river perhaps, or a lake. Hope, but not urgency. They will reach it when they reach it. As they move closer, the sky begins to darken. Rain falls once more, gentle, patient, forgiving. It touches their faces, slides down their arms, gathers in the folds of leaves and soil. The earth breathes again. The people smile, the dryness passes. Change has brought them here, and change gives again. They stop by the river that has waited for them. The water moves slowly, steady and clear. It feels familiar, as if the past had been waiting in this place. They kneel, drink deeply, and let the coolness fill their bodies. The journey has ended for now, the rhythm continues. They rest beside the water until evening. The sun lowers behind distant hills, painting the world in amber and rose. The reflections shimmer on the surface, bright and gentle. The group gathers near the fire, small again, complete again. The The flames flicker, the air warms, and the night folds softly around them. No one speaks of the distance they have crossed. There is no need. The land itself remembers, every step pressed into soil, every breath shared with the wind. What was once far is now home. What was once lost has become part of them. When they sleep that night, the stars shine brighter than before. The sound of the river joins the rhythm of their breath. Everything is slow, balanced, and whole. The earth turns quietly beneath them, carrying them forward into another dawn. And as you listen, you feel that same motion, tiny, soft, patient, eternal. The world shifts, the air changes, and yet peace remains. You breathe with them, step with them, rest with them. The story continues, not in hurry, not in fear, but in gentle balance. Breathe in, breathe out. The earth moves, and you move with it. Calm, connected, unshaken. The journey never ends. It only flows like water, carrying life forward, forever peaceful, forever kind. The first mark. The world has changed again, though it moves with the same slow grace as always. The sky stretches wide and gentle, the rivers flow quietly, and the forests breathe their soft, endless rhythm. Time passes not in rushes but in murmurs, each moment blending into the next like ripples in still water. Within this calm expanse of life, something begins to shift. It is small at first, quiet, almost invisible, a flicker behind the eyes, a thought carried on the wind. The people live as they always have, but somewhere deep inside them, awareness starts to bloom. It does not shout, it hums, it drifts gently like a leaf turning in air. Days pass, seasons change. The earth turns and the people move with it. They travel between forests and plains, following water and warmth. The fire burns where they rest. The stars keep watch above. And slowly, as if guided by the rhythm of nature itself, they begin to leave signs of who they are. At first, it happens by accident, a mark on a rock, scratched by stone. A handprint in wet clay, pressed there without meaning, but the marks remain, and when they return, they see them again. Something stirs. The mark is both memory and message, a whisper from the past saying, "I was here." In the quiet of a cave, someone picks up a piece of stone and drags it across the wall. The sound is soft, like a sigh. Dust falls in the dim light. A line appears, then another. No words, no images yet, only the beginning of expression. The hand moves again, tracing shape and rhythm. Slowly, gently, something new is born. The act of remembering. Outside, the world remains the same, rivers moving, trees swaying, wind carrying the scent of earth. Inside the cave, firelight flickers over the new markings. The people gather, watching the lines dance across the stone. They don't understand it fully, but they feel it. A quiet wonder, an invisible connection between thought and world. Children trace their fingers over the carvings, laughing softly. Elders nod, eyes reflecting the glow of the flame. The marks hold no instructions, no stories yet, but they hold presence. The beginning of awareness made visible. For the first time, memory takes form beyond the body. Days flow into nights, nights into mornings. The people continue to live as they always have, gathering, hunting, resting. Yet something subtle changes. When they find new stones, they test them. When they see patterns in nature, lines of branches, shapes in clouds, curves of rivers, they feel something familiar. The world speaks through form, and now they can reply. Over time, the markings become more. Hands paint with ash and clay, mixing colors from the earth itself. Reds, browns, and blacks blend into shapes that shimmer in firelight. A handprint here, a curve there, the suggestion of animals, the echo of movement. These are not decorations, they are breath. Traces of life carried through time. When the people rest in these caves, the walls feel alive. They glow with warmth and memory. Every mark whispers softly, telling of rain, of sunlight, of the rhythm of the hunt, of the beauty of being alive. The images are not loud, they hum like a heartbeat, quiet and steady. The cave becomes a gathering place, not just for shelter, but for reflection. The fire burns in the center, its light reaching across faces and walls, joining stone and skin. The people sit together in calm silence, feeling something they cannot name, unity, perhaps, or meaning. Outside, night spreads wide across the land. The stars shimmer above, bright and still. The world sleeps, but within these walls, light continues. The act of creation, gentle, wordless, becomes its own kind of warmth. As generations pass, the marks deepen. Tools grow smoother, shapes become clearer. Someone discovers that the edge of a stone can carve finer lines. Another learns that mixing water with ash makes the color flow. Each discovery is small, simple, and pure. A quiet unfolding of thought. They begin to make tools not just to survive, but to shape. Stones are chipped with care, wood polished until it feels right in the hand. These objects are beautiful in their simplicity. A curve that fits the palm, a point that glints in light. The world is no longer something they only live in. It becomes something they can shape gently, without harm. Still, there is no rush. The pace of change is slow, steady as the rhythm of breathing. Each new act of creation arises like dawn, calm, certain, inevitable. There are no leaps, only steps, each one leading softly into the next. In the evenings, they gather by the fire once more. The flames dance across their faces, painting gold across their eyes. They look at one another, at the walls, at the tools resting nearby. A sense of peace fills the air. Not pride, not wonder, just calm awareness. The children play near the firelight, holding small stones, copying the movements of their elders. The sound of laughter mixes with the crackle of the flame. The air is full of warmth and life. Above, the stars blink slowly, patient and eternal. The world outside changes again, rivers shift, forests grow, animals migrate, yet the people remain connected through their marks. Every carving, every tool, every touch of paint on stone is a bridge between past and present. Through these acts, they learn not just to survive, but to remember, and memory itself becomes gentle. It is not heavy with longing or sorrow. It simply flows, an unbroken line of thought stretching across time. The first marks were not just signs of life. They were signs of awareness, of seeing, feeling, being. When morning comes, light spills once more into the caves. The fire has faded to ash, but the walls still hold their quiet glow. The people stretch, yawn softly, and look upon their work. The air feels new again, filled with peace. They step outside into the fresh light. The sky opens above them, wide and blue. Birds sweep across the horizon. The land stretches far and bright. Their marks remain behind, held by stone, untouched by the wind. The people walk on, carrying with them what cannot be erased, the knowing that they exist, that they create, that they belong. Every step they take leaves a print in the soil, every print a whisper of their passage. The rain will wash it away, but that no longer matters. They have learned that traces do not need to last forever to have meaning. Even a mark that fades becomes part of the earth again, returning to the rhythm that made it. And so they walk, slow and unhurried, the wind moving through their hair, the sunlight warm on their faces. The world hums softly around them. Somewhere, far behind, the first marks rest in darkness, glowing faintly in memory. Symbols of beginning, of thought, of gentle understanding. As the day passes, they move through fields of tall grass, through forests and along the banks of rivers. Each moment feels peaceful, every sound familiar. The earth seems to breathe with them, slow and deep. The marks they've made are no longer just on stone. They exist within, in memory, in presence, in the quiet awareness of being alive. And as you listen, that same calm understanding begins to settle within you. You can feel the quiet rhythm of creation, not rushed, not loud, but steady and full. The marks of your own life too are part of something vast and beautiful. Each thought, each breath, each heartbeat is a trace of existence, glowing softly in time. Breathe in, breathe out. You are part of the same rhythm. The quiet evolution of life, the soft hum of awareness. That moves through everything. Rest here. Let the stillness stay. The first marks remain carved gently in time, whispering peace to all who listen. The continuation of life. Time moves slowly here. It does not rush, it does not count. It flows like a river that never asks where it's going, steady, eternal, always becoming. The earth turns, the sky breathes, and the soft rhythm of life continues without end. Days stretch into seasons, seasons into years, and the world hums the same low, peaceful song. Generations rise and fall like the tide. The people live, love, rest, and return to the soil that once held them. Each life blooms quietly, then fades, feeding the ground from which new life will grow. There is no sorrow in it, no ending that feels harsh. Only the slow and graceful turning of the wheel. The grass that once brushed their feet grows again, taller now, greener. The rivers that quenched their thirst still run, clear and unhurried. The wind that touched their faces still moves through the plains, carrying whispers of warmth, of memory, of quiet joy. Nature keeps its rhythm, patient, kind, unbroken. The world does not forget them. Their steps remain in the land, their breath in the air, their warmth in the fire that still burns. The marks they left, the carvings on stone, the stories in caves, the echoes in the wind, have become part of the earth itself. They are not gone, they have simply changed shape, transformed into the rhythm of all living things. Above, the sky stretches vast and endless. Clouds drift slowly, their shadows gliding across mountains and fields. The sun rises and falls golden and soft, painting the world in colors that never fade, only shift. Light and shadow dance in their quiet balance. Night follows day, and day returns again, gentle as breathing. Through the long arc of time, life keeps weaving its thread. Plants grow, bloom, and fall back into the soil. Animals move across the land in calm migration. Water travels from mountain to sea, then rises again into clouds. Every part of the world joins in this endless movement, a silent harmony that needs no conductor. Humanity remains within it, not apart from it. Their hands shape the earth, but never own it. Their eyes see the horizon, but never claim it. They walk through the world as part of it, as wind, as dust, as heartbeat. There is no struggle to rise above nature. There is only the peace of belonging fully to it. Children are born beneath the same wide sky. They grow, laugh, learn, and become the caretakers of tomorrow. Their elders smile softly, knowing that everything continues. The faces change, the voices shift, but the essence remains. The world holds them all, past and present, in the same gentle embrace. The forests breathe with age. Trees rise, fall, and rise again. Each ring in their trunks is a memory, a quiet record of rain and sun and wind. The rivers sing their same slow songs, winding through the land with patience. The air smells of life, clean, full, endless. In the evenings, firelight still flickers somewhere. A new generation sits around it, as the old once did. Their eyes reflect the flame, their voices low and calm. Stories are told not in words but in gestures, in laughter, in silence. The fire glows like a small sun in the night, connecting the living to everything that came before. The sound of the night is soft. Crickets, wind, the gentle sigh of the earth as it rests. The sky stretches black and silver, sprinkled with stars that have watched over every age. The people look up and see themselves in that endlessness. They do not wonder what lies beyond. They only feel the stillness of being part of something vast and kind. When morning comes, the light returns quietly. The world glows gold once more. The air feels new, though it has always been the same. Dew clings to leaves, birds stretch their wings, and the earth continues its graceful spin. Everything begins again, not as repetition, but as continuation, the next note in an endless song. The humans walk once more across the plains, their shadows stretching long in the sunlight. They follow paths made by those before them, footsteps merging into one another. The past and the present overlap like two breaths meeting in the air. They move not to escape, but to belong. Each step an offering, each moment a prayer of calm acceptance. The cycle continues, quiet and sure. Birth and death, growth and decay, dawn and dusk, all moving together like the tides beneath the moon. The world needs no hurry, no reason. It simply exists, perfect in its motion. As time unfolds, the faces of humanity change, but their essence stays the same, gentle, curious, connected. The wisdom of generations lives in their hands, in their eyes, in the way they touch the world softly, aware that it is both fragile and eternal. Rain returns, falling in silver threads across the plains. The drops kiss the earth, sinking into the roots that wait below. The rivers swell, carrying the memory of every storm and every calm. The world smells new again. Life breathes deeper. The wind moves through the tall grass, bending it in waves that shimmer beneath the sun. It sounds like the echo of voices long gone, not in sadness, but in peace. They have not disappeared, they have become the rhythm itself. At night, when the stars return, the land glows faintly beneath their light. The people rest, listening to the hum of the universe. It feels familiar, almost like a lullaby. The same one their ancestors once heard, the same one the earth has sung since the beginning. In this stillness, everything is connected. The sky touches the sea, the mountains breathe with the wind, the rivers mirror the stars, the people lie between them all, small and infinite at once. There is no end, only quiet continuation. Time folds softly over itself, like waves against the shore. The fire burns low, the wind drifts, the night grows deep. The sound of the world becomes softer, slower, almost silent. One by one the lights fade, the fire becomes embers, the embers become warmth, the warmth becomes memory. The world exhales long and calm, and as it does you feel yourself drifting with it. Weightless, unburdened, at peace. Your thoughts quiet. Your breath slows. The rhythm of the story becomes your own. You are part of this same flow, of earth, of air, of time itself. The cycle that carried them carries you. There is no separation, no distance, only stillness. The world hums softly like a heartbeat felt through the ground. The sound grows faint, the light grows dim, and all that remains is peace. Deep, whole, unending. Breathe in. Breathe out. The story continues. Life continues. The earth rests, and so do you. Everything is quiet now. Everything is whole. The wind moves as the rain falls, the fire breathes, and somewhere across the endless plains of time, the song of life goes on, gentle, eternal, and beautifully still. Where time rests, a soft goodbye to the ancient world. The night is calm now, the earth has quieted, and everything has found its place in stillness. The stars shimmer softly above, distant yet kind, watching over the world with quiet affection. The air moves gently, brushing across your skin like a whisper. It carries the scent of cool grass, soft soil, and the faint memory of rain. The fire of the story has dimmed, but its warmth lingers. Not bright, not loud, just a steady glow that rests within you. You can feel it behind your chest, a calm heartbeat that moves in rhythm with the world. Every sound around you begins to slow. The air hums low and kind. The earth feels alive, but peaceful. It breathes with you. Each breath you take draws in the peace of the night. Each exhale releases the weight of the day. You have walked with the first humans through the dawn of time, felt the rivers, the forests, the winds, the endless plains. Now you rest, safe, calm, held in the same gentle rhythm that carried them. The darkness around you is soft, not empty. It's full of quiet light, drifting like mist. You are part of that calm now, a single note in the long song of the universe, steady and serene. The stars above are your lullaby, the earth beneath you your cradle. You are home, deeply and completely. Let your eyes grow heavy, let your breath slow. The story fades into silence, leaving only warmth, only comfort, only peace. The night welcomes you kindly. You can let go now, of thought, of sound, of everything but stillness. Sleep is not far. It waits gently beside you, patient and kind. It touches your mind like a breeze, smooth and cool, wrapping you in calm. You drift, weightless, through quiet air, carried by the rhythm of peace. Breathe in. Breathe out. The world hums softly beneath you. You are safe. You are loved. You are free to rest. May your dreams be light and full of calm. May your heart rest easy. And may this night, this soft, quiet night, carry you into a deep, beautiful sleep.